My name is Saeed from Hotels. I'm responsible for food safety in the board. I want to ask about the municipality giving chance for the hotels to open without the basic for the food safety, the layout for kitchen, and give him a chance to open first. And they promise to increase this or to provide this later. And what he's doing, the person in charge, in case if the file comes from inspection from the walling or the layout for kitchen or something like this. This is supposed to be from beginning, not person in charge is responsible for something like that. Thank you.
Are you saying that premises open before they're satisfactory and therefore they can get fined subsequently? Because I think you'll find that one of the requirements, hopefully in the future, is that the premises have to be satisfactory, and systems will be now put in place to make sure the satisfactory, and the person in charge has to be appointed. That was the idea before the premises open.
It's already a requirement that the layout should be verified by the municipality. But what unfortunately happens is when the business submits the layout, they do not take, like for example, if hotel comes with one restaurant, gets a layout approved, and then opens 3 restaurants. Now, the space that we approve, maybe for one restaurant, and then they expect to go there, they will find 3 restaurants which, where the space is not enough. And then they want them, they put the fine, and it goes through a cycle. There again, BIC is not responsible for it. He has to, or he or she has to notify the management that we need more space. That's only action that the BIC is expecting, not to change the layout, that's it. But which I think the new requirements for layout design, we're getting more transparency, and we are recommending that the BIC should be trained before the opening of the outlet, so that the BIC gets to know what has to be done in the restaurant well in advance. So wastage can be reduced.
But do we have 2 separate departments, one for legislation and the other for enforcement of the law, or
it's the same department? It's the same department, except that the license opening is normally by economic department. So as a person, you go first to the economic department, and they give our guidelines to the person.
How you enforce them? Because the enforcement is a totally different setup.
The enforcement is within our department. It's all
but you give that paper after that. If you want to enforce something, you give it to what other department in the government to go and enforce the law?
We do that.
You?
Yeah, it's only one department that does both. We provide the guidelines and we enforce it. So there is no multiple agency involved.
Okay. Does that answer your question, sir?
Actually, some from the answer is not all totally on the point. It's why they accept the open the hotel if we not have the basic from this from beginning. It's supposed to be completely first.
This is the question. Now we must understand that there are laws or legislations written. Now and they are covering that one. But failure to enforce the law is something different, which it's not our job here inside. How can I answer your question and say how they allow a hotel to start or a facility to start without having that thing done? Now this is something that cannot be covered.
We do have inspections before opening. The problems never come in the first inspection. It's only after a couple of months, a couple of years, that problems start to appear. We have very rare occurrences where the layout has missed, or some approval would have been missed.
So it's an outlaw. It's an outlaw.
Exactly, it's an outlaw. If it's an approval, they cannot miss it.
A small question.
Yes, sir.
As far as I understand correctly, it only applies to restaurants, and it also applies to supermarkets.
Every food premises.
So supermarkets, big supermarkets, small supermarkets, everywhere where you can buy food, they should have
maybe even food transporters as well.
Even if I make a market.
And where do you, as a consumer, let's say you buy something in the supermarket and you take it home and then you see the quality is not as you like, you go back to the supermarket to complain,
Yeah.
or you go to any other party?
It depends. As a member of the public, you've got a choice. You can go back to the supermarket, which most people would do, depending on what it was and what kind of injury that you'd sustained. And in other cases, you might go to the Dubai municipality. If you think you've had food poisoning from a restaurant, then you might decide, I'm going to go straight to the municipality. If it's something that's out of date, then you probably go back to the supermarket. But there's no right or wrong. You can do whichever you want as a consumer.
I think just to add to the DIC responsibilities, one of the requirements is to inform the Dubai municipality that it's serious injury. So if you are a customer and you for serious sickness, we suspect that from a terrorist illness. And if you report it to the person in charge should notify the Dubai municipality as soon as possible.
But also a logistic warehouse, they also need to have a person in charge, which stores, let's say, apples or...
Yes. Yeah, but that's the low risk. So, you know, no matter how big, it'd be a low risk, so it could be a level 2 or even a level 1. But my personal recommendation is these people, remember, we're not saying everybody, we're saying the manager. The level 2 course is a relatively low academic level. It's a 6-hour course. So I would say that every manager in the food premises should be at that level. In the UK, we expect all our food handlers to be at level 2. So I don't see there's any reason why, in the main, I would always recommend go for the level 2 as the minimum. If you need a level 3, go for a level 3.
But what is also considered as food? Or
sorry, water? Yeah, water's food. Yeah. Bottled water, if you've got a bottled water manufacturer, they will require a pick. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard. That's very
I think we have some more questions.
Sorry?
It wasn't a question actually, it was a comment, and my name is Lorraine, I'm from Emirates Light Catering. I wanted to make the comment from a company that has to have picks rather than from Highfield or the Dubai municipality. And the comment here is that this pick is about Dubai municipality going the extra mile. Instead of being the police, they want us to work with them. Now, the impression I got from people is like, okay, Dubai municipality is doing, trying to get in there and force the responsibility on someone. No, they're not trying to force it. They're trying to get it back to the operational people. I'm a technical manager. I've been responsible for food safety and quality. But the reality is that food safety and quality, the responsibility lies with every food handler and the person that leads them. So it lies with the production supervisor, and that's the essence of it. That's where the municipality is going. And I totally believe in it. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I think they're going to be world leaders. And this is coming from industry. I hope that answers one of the questions.
Just small comment. Also, I agree with her 100%. I think it's a matter of culture for everybody touching the food. Another question. Big guy, I saw him little bit in trouble between the owner and the government. He's going to have a little bit protection from the municipality for his job, because he's going to ask a lot the owner at the end.
I think the underlying assumption here is that there's a big difference between the owner and the person in charge. What we realized when we did the survey for the person in charge is major problems in the food industry are not caused by owner-driven businesses. Manager-driven businesses, owner-driven businesses. These are the small restaurants and cafes in the street. That's where we have the maximum problems. And most of them are owned and managed by the same person. There's not much of a difference between the owner and the manager. So if you walk into any restaurant in there or wherever, you would very commonly find the owner sitting on the counter. That's one thing. Now, if you have a management system,
because we are already 5 minutes late and we have one question.
Yes, we have Joe again, business development manager for refrigerated transport system here for the Karamuki. I would like to elaborate a little bit on Mr. Krishnan's point regarding the door switch. Yesterday we were talking about environment, energy saving. So it suddenly struck me, I said I must make this illustration and show the huge impact it has on the environment. So I called up last night our Marathi employees who were in charge of the sales. I asked him how many deliveries he makes one salesman per day. So he told me average around 29 to 30 deliveries a day. So I asked him how many minutes he's spending at the time distributing the growth of the product. He said maybe around 15 to 20 minutes. So I made a small illustration getting into this information. I would like to share it with you all and see how important it is and how much impact it is having on the environment. So I would like to make a small illustration. As total cost, okay, per day by a salesman is 30. Time taken for one call is 20 minutes. That is the frequency of door opening, giving the product to the supermarket, getting into the van, reconciling the product, and everything takes about 20 minutes for one day. Total time taken per day, it will be 600 minutes. If you divide 20 into 30, you will get 600 minutes, which is 10 hours per day. They have 207 units which are diesel powered, and these are, I'm talking about diesel powered units. 207 diesel powered units, Thermo King and Carrier. If you have this 207 multiplied by number of hours per day, 10 hours, you get 2070 hours per day. Alright, now this is the consumption to 2070 hours per day. Now Thermo King unit is consuming 1.5 liter per hour. If you multiply this into the hours, you get 3,105 liters per day. Now going into this statistics, 3,105 liters per day into 26 days will come to 80,730 liters per month. And multiply by 12 months, 968,760 liters per year. So you can imagine the impact it has got on the environment. If the door switch is in place, this will give a stoppage to all these timings. The unit will be off for this many hours, for this many liters of will be stopped from going into the atmosphere, into the environment. And the cost of it, if you multiply, now we have 3.7 liter dirhams cost per liter. If you multiply that into this 968,760 liters, you have annual savings of 3,058,584,412 dirhams per year. This is the huge impact it can have monetary as well as environment.
Thank you very much. We would like you, if you could just pass it on so we can have it in the next gathering. By email.
Richard, just one last comment. I think next to the European driving license, this big qualification is going to be another big qualification, and there's going to be a lot of coaching of staff. Because if I was to open a restaurant, I would rather take a person who's big qualified and coach him from a restaurant who's already working, give him incentive. So it's going to create a lot of, the job market is going to really have an impact on this. Just thought I could share that with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, before we go to lunch, once we finish our lunch at 2 o'clock, we will be going to the supermarket like yesterday, the West Road. And today, please, when you go there, we do not want to concentrate on anything related to the equipment which we covered yesterday. The installation, the manufacturer, the bits and pieces of the equipment, we need to forbid it today because this was for yesterday. Today, we would like you to concentrate on the quality of the products stored. If you have any comments, Like yesterday, someone was talking about the temperature of the case and the temperature of the product. Would like to things like this, and you see what